today is a short wrap-up of where we are today, what we are doing, and what's planned and coming in the near future. So most of you already know that we've got 3 pillars where we're working on. Also, our organization is built in 3 pillars. One is we do partner management and technology selection, and the partners that we already selected and the technology that we've selected are present here today. But of course, in the future, there will come more and more partners and more technology solutions. So that's one part of what we are doing. The most important part, like that I said also before, is our community. So the success of SHIELD in the future will depend on how good as a community we work together, of course, in these events like this, but more in the event, in the working groups, the real technical working groups where we discuss together what are our problems, what are our challenges, what could be solutions, and how can we source them from partners, and how can we find technology to solve our issues. So there are a lot of technical groups already active, and in the future there will become more and more of these to build our service catalog, to build our reference architecture and our blueprint. And then, of course, if we have selected solutions and agree on them, we put them in a service catalog, and then you as a member can source these solutions. So if you look where we are today with technology and partners, Torion and Enviso are partners in the GRC, and also they will I think today show where they can help you. From hardware and technology point of view, it's Dustin and Bechtel. If you look to our future SOC, of course, the ultimate dream is to build a sectorial SOC for our members, and the first steps we are already there, which is the XDR solution, or from Palo Alto Cortex, or from Microsoft with these partners. And then on the network and the network part, we've selected Cisco and Palo Alto with these partners, and these technologies are part of the blueprint, our architecture as we are today. So, and this is a new slide, so he still did something back. I think this is where we say, okay, we are working on 3 projects, and these are also the 3 projects within the proof of concept of the FOD. And we are in the final phase this week to ultimately select the vendors for the CSERT, the pen test, and the awareness and the awareness platform. And if I look at it and the things that we got from partners, I think I can state that the price is about 50% of what you're paying today. So I think joining together and trying to get these type of projects on the way, we can really source at a better price and a better solution. So in the next weeks, and then I think in April the 23, there is an info session about these 3 projects. And together with the FOD, we are really going to try to have 3 very nice projects on these 3 pillars. And I think that's really the first group projects that we will realize in the next quarters. And so everybody put that date in your calendar, and then you will see what type of nice solutions for these 3 challenges we will have. If you look to the community, we are with 50+ members now, which is, I think, very nice. The reason also why we are together with more than 100 people today. And yes, of course, we have 2 types of members. The members that are directly member of SHIELD, which are the blue ones, and then the members that take part in the POC of FOD Volksgezondheid. And then you see, I hope in the near future, more French-speaking hospitals will join SHIELD, because you can see that the blue color is still at the Dutch-speaking part of the country. But at least in the POC, we have also hospitals in Brussels and in Wallonie. So I hope in the near future others will join us, and then it's really a Belgium a sectorial group. So these are the type of members. So the members, direct members, the members of POC, and then we've got 2 groups, and they will grow in the future because there's also a lot of interest from large caretaking groups, who of course challenge have the same challenges as we as hospitals, but they will grow that part, and then you've got, of course, the part of the psychiatrical hospitals, which are also, some of them take part in the proof of concept. So an open thing is, yes, we would like to have more French-speaking members, and yes, we would like to have more smaller hospitals as a member, because if you look at it, the large hospitals take part in the community, most of them, but we can still, I think, help smaller members to join us. And that's also a new...
Extra slide I added, sorry. Normally
yeah, that's like, he just gives me some surprises, so...
Yeah, normally we weren't sure if Kurt was going to tell something, but let me explain. So in the end of last year, we did a call out to the community, asking for the tech experts in our community to support us in building the reference architecture best practices together with the partners. So I want to use this moment to ask people present if you have expertise in-house who are able and willing to support us on all these domains. We're currently looking for additional experts. So for GRC, XDR, and network security, we already have the teams in place, but extra man and girl power is more than welcome. And for the new initiatives of 2025, we also need extra capable people. So for the network security, there's a campus data center network and micro-segmentation track that we have on the radar. For private cloud and data center, it's data center hardware and storage and backup and recovery. And for the endpoint security, it's asset management, CPS platforms.
Yep. There's a question.
If somebody would like to join, what's the time commitment?
Well, that depends. We don't expect you to have a regular time frame. We plan, we organize, that's what Shield does. If you're able to join, you're more than welcome. If it doesn't fit your planning, of course, there's operational stuff to do. We totally understand. But yeah, that's an engagement. It depends on the event.
Yeah, I think half a day or something per month like that. But if, of course, we are in a tender process and you have to join the selection and the discussion about what is the best solution, then it's a bit more intense, of course, than the rest of the year.
It's about reviewing a tender. It takes 2 days to do all the reading, to do the evaluation, to do the scoring. If it's really contributing to reference designs, it's more time consuming, but more along.
But I think for you guys who joined us in one of the previous tracks, you can see that you really can give input and steer the vendors to the solution that we really need. So it's really a warm and open thing. Please join us and help us creating the blueprint and our reference architecture.
Reach out to me, and that's normally the... Okay, so that's what I also wanted to tell.
Yeah, so this is the same slide as the one before. So
the final surprise.
Yeah, so please join us at the info session where we will explain the three projects where we hope we can onboard in the 3 tracks about 20-25 hospitals at the same time. Certainly something like CSERT will be a very nice offer to do it in group, and we can also then do some planning and tabletop exercises together. So I think it's a very interesting one. So join us at the end of the month. So then where are we today? And then these are screenshots of the solutions that we have in the GRC part. So there will be it's ready, and we are discussing with the sector organizations to organize it because you've got, of course, a management training. You have to do a management training of your board and senior level management on cybersecurity. So we made it 2-hour session, and if you or your management and your board members join this, they can check off the obligation for their cybersecurity course. It will be organized together with the sector organizations as well in Flanders as in the French-speaking part. But of course, if you want to do it as a hospital, at some of your board of directors moment, then the teachers will come to your hospital and give the course of 2 hours at your location. So it will be an open choice, and we will, I think, publish it in the next 2 or 3 weeks together with the FOD and the organizations. Then I will go also into that. That is the assessment. So at the moment we finished the reporting of 20 members, and then the rest of the 50 members are in the planning. But with 20 members assessed, we can give some insights and information about the status of how compliant we are to NIS2. We also have a GRC offer together with our partner to implement it. It's nice to know what your maturity is towards NIS2, but then you have to implement it and be ready by April 26 and by April 27. So there is a project where you can, if you want to source the solution and the services, everybody can source, or we are building a blueprint, really a document repository, which is a standardized one for the sector, and then you can use it as a member and customize it to your own organization. I will show some things that are present there. And then we've got the medical device policy. We will do a sort of roadshow together with the FOD to explain what's in it. But I will also show you that we are scoring every medical device that's in the network of our members, give it a risk score, put it in a database that's accessible for you guys, and then you can go on from there. What we also will do is a mapping of all the technology solutions that we provide. And this is an example where we mapped Palo Alto against as well as Siphon, the basic, important, and essential, as well the ISO, as well the MITRE, and then you can see how many controls you can check off if you implement it right. Of course, you need to implement it right, not just buy it, but we will do this for every solution that will be in our service catalog, and we will update it, and it's of course based upon the information of the technology vendor, and you will get access to this. It's the same way. This is then for the nerdy guys, and then you can really see which control that you comply with and can check off if you implement it for the different standards. So these things will be available in our repository for every member, and you can access it and use it in your track. This is what I was talking about the medical devices. So we will put every medical devices, or try to put every medical devices and every new device into the database. We will assess it. We will assess it on in which data category, which type of data they use, what the risk is, of course, within your organization. Then we score it, and then you get a green, red, or black one. And if you want to source one of the medical devices, you can dive into the database, look what the risk score is, and then you know which actions you should do to mitigate the risk if you implement a device in your network. So this is also a database that will grow. We are now using the medical devices within the network of our two founders, Sol and Jessa. And of course, then we will already have a lot of them, but of course, other members will have other technologies. So if you give us this information, we can add it to the database and try to make it as full as it is. So these are the type of services also in the future that we would like to provide, because otherwise you have to do it yourselves, meaning that if we have 50 members, you buy a medical device, you have to do it 50 times all over. If you look at the solutions, for example, like Palo Alto from a provider, you have to do the risk scoring and the risk assessment before implementing it. What we would like to do is do it for our members, do it one time. It's much better for the vendor, of course, because then they just have to answer one time in the place instead of 20 or 50 or 100 times. And we can learn from each other and put it in the database, get feedback from you guys, and maybe the risk score is not as you see it, and then we can go into discussion and debate about what the risk score really should be. And then you can use it, and I hope it will help you get some more time to do the real stuff instead of these type of exercises. So then, what did we learn from the assessment? So as I said, we assessed 20 organizations on 50 controls, and only 4 of the 1,000 controls were compliant with the regulation. Which means that for the moment, as a group, as a group of members, we only are compliant for 0.38% towards the NIS2 regulation. Okay, this means we have some work to do in the next 2 years. These type of graphs you can get as a member for your own organization and compare it with the rest. So this is a consolidated one for all the 20 that are finished, and then you can also see that large hospitals maybe do it a bit better than small ones, but if you look at it on an average, we still have a lot of work to do. Put it in another visualization, and this one I personally like because we need to be there in the green on top by April 2027. These are the averages of the controls that we assessed. And then you see we have a long way to go. We should be, because we need to be at 3.5 within the legislation as a score. So at least the score as well on the implementation as on the documentation should be above 2, because if you get 2 and you get 5 together, you're at 3.5. So at least the bare minimum for every control should be 2. And then you see, okay, on an implementation level, there are already a few of the controls that we score above 2, but are still a lot under 2. And if we look to the documentation part, we are like, there's only one where on an average we are above the bare minimum. And we should be at 3 April next year, and we should be at 3.5 April 2027. So there's really a lot of work to do, but if you look at it, which one scores the highest and which one scores the lowest, then you will see in some of the lowest, I think Shield can just do it, provide it to you guys, and then you will score on that control above 3.5 or 4. So the ones where we can be added value and where we can do the work, it's most in the part of documentation, of course. Implementation is for your own organization. But in the documentation part, there are some things that we can solve for the group, just deliver it to everybody, and then we will move up to the upper right. This graph is available for everybody's own organization, because these are the consolidated numbers, and then we can see if we can grow in maturity in the next 2 years, and hopefully if we present it in somewhere May or June 27, all the controls, the 260 ones, because these are only 50 of them, the 260 ones, we will be in the green. But we will see. together I think it's possible. I think this type of information is interesting also for you guys. Then you can see how you grow and where we are and where we can go. Thomas will be at one of the tables there. He's the guy who made this for us. And he will be at one of the tables. And if you want to see, he can show you. It's a web application. And in the near future, we will also give it available to you guys. But first, let's see that it's secure, so that it's not hackable, so that we don't put all your information outside. So that's also something that will grow, of course, in time, and will grow as we assess more and more members. Questions on this part? So I can only suggest go in one of the sessions. There will be a lot of explanation on the things that I showed you here. And let's hope that we get into the upper right green in the next 2 years.